Aloha, good morning. This is Andrew Aloha live out of Tucson, Arizona. Spiritual Homes Productions on Blog Talk Radio. Excuse me, wait a minute. This is not Blog Talk Radio. What the heck? This is Webinar Jam. Now I understand. Hey, and just for you guys, and I want to thank all of you guys for being here. Charla, Helene, Kim, Sandra, Stephanie, Susan, Karen. I'm assuming that you guys can hear me in the chat room, and if you can't, please let me know, and we'll fix that, and we'll go from there. Here, I'll even give you a big aloha in the chat room, and thank you. At least thank you for being here. So I appreciate that. So anyhow, we have a full week of stuff going on this week, and we're here with the GPS Paranormal Golden Age Hangout. It's a new system that the masters, or my guidance, and I have created and put together to basically not only do this webinar series, but also to do a whole gamut of events that are coming down the pike. So what's going to happen is we have a whole lineup of people that are going to be presenting this week, including Paul Armitage, who I just talked to. He's making sure that everything's okay. Who's going to be talking about the soul, and Celeste Corsham here out of Sedona. Paul's out of Canada. Celeste Corsham is out of Sedona. She's going to be talking about soul portraits and how to do them. And then we have Sage Lee, who's going to be talking about your human birthright. So that's what's on the agenda for today. And if you haven't got an email from me about what's going on today and the rest of this week, then oh, good, thank you very much. I appreciate that, letting me know, Stephanie. I'm glad you can. So anyhow, if you don't, if you haven't gotten an email from me about any of this, please email me, spiritualimageproduktions@yahoo.com, or just go to the front of the spiritualimageproduktions.com. I put some links there, and well, hang on a second. You're writing me, and I don't have my glasses on. Sorry, Steph. Aloha means hello in Hawaiian language. Yes, of course. It means hello and goodbye. But it actually, aloha, Stephanie, has a lot more meaning to that. And that right now, in a different presentation, I will talk about that. In fact, I have in the past with some other people. But again, to give you some highlights about what's going on this week, we're going to be, let me see, bringing in, let me see, Sam J. Maranto, who's going to be talking about UFO case studies. And then we have Catherine and Patrick Andrews, who are going to be talking about dreams and relationships. And then Lori Lorich, who's going to be talking about sacred sexuality. And then Ted Peters, who's going to be talking about UFOs and mysticism. And then Deborah Shea, I think that's Shea, talking about the rays of the universe. And there's, according to, if you've ever gone and read any of Helen Blavatsky or Alice Bailey's information, there's 7 rays in the universe, and I'm assuming that that's what she's going to be talking about. And then we have Jasmine Starchild. I don't know if you've seen the video, but she did a video for us. She's going to be talking about spiritual health. And then Jerry Yusko will be talking about living through your temple, the master of within you living through your temple. And then and we have lots of other people. I don't have time to mention everybody, but I just wanted to give you some glimpses. But one of the things that we're going to be doing is on Wednesday, every year in April or May, there's what you call the Wesak Festival, the full moon in Taurus. And Buddha, that's the day that Buddha became enlightened. He was born, and that he also transcended. So we're going to be doing well, anyhow, that's usually in April and May. In Easter time, we have the Christ Festival, and then we have the Wesak Festival, and then in June we have the Humanity Festival. So we're going to be doing a meditation on Wednesday at 2 p.m. For the Humanity Festival. And actually later that evening we're going to be doing even more in depth one. But that'll just give you a taste about what it's like. So if you don't know what transmission meditation is, go to Spiritual Image Productions. On the left hand side there's a link that says Transmission Meditation on the Air. If you scroll down you'll see a link that says ebook, the Transmission Meditation ebook, and you can read about that, and then be up to par with us. So anyhow, and then on Thursday we're going to be doing free psychic readings and doing advice, relationship advice on the Intimacy Tantra Relationship Psychically Fulfilled presentation. And then on Friday at 2 p.m. we're going to be doing the Golden Age Psychic Show. We're going to be doing free psychic readings. I have 3 people. Well, there's going to be 3 of us. Typically, I do those shows once a month on Blog Talk Radio, and we're bringing them here to do them here on this webinar series as well. So anyhow, we got a whole lineup, a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to be talking about, working with, and going from there. Stephanie writes, guess who visits me every night? I don't know who visits you every night, but if you tell me, Stephanie, I will know. How is that? Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So anyhow, you guys, again, you can go to spiritualmissproduction.com. Towards in the middle of the page, I just put it up this morning. There's a link for the Golden Age Hangout, the GPS Paranormal Golden Age Hangout, where you can click on that, and that'll give you the itinerary for the rest of the week. Everybody that's presenting. We have a whole array of people that are going to be presenting, and I'm sure it's free, and a lot of this information can be very useful for you. So why not check it out? Sure. So anyhow, Stephanie, I'm going to ask you this. Do you know what Ascension is? Do you know what Ascension means? My birth my birth mom in her spirit body. That's what Ascension means to you? No, Stephanie, that's not what I'm talking about. Talking about anyhow, your birth mom, that's cool. My dad visits me too, and I don't really have a ongoing conversation with him, but sometimes I connect with him, and he's around, and I visit with him. So can you do a read? Not today, Stephanie. Today I'm going to be talking about the 90-day Ascension journey. Now, just to let you know, the 90 days okay. The 90-day Ascension Journey is a program that I offer. It's a 12-week program that I offer, and actually I've done it. Right now I'm working with a client that works for a major resort here in Phoenix, and actually that's in the Phoenix area, and he's really liking it right now. He's and I did it with another person. I just finished up a few weeks ago, and he was just amazed, and he's been actually working with me on helping me set this program up. So I really appreciate his support, and so he's got a lot of it. And he was going through a lot of stuff, and then I worked with him for 12 weeks, and finally he was able to bail himself out. But the whole idea is behind the Ascended Entrepreneur, which is a little bit different program. It's more for business people. But this program works for anybody. It can work for anybody. It doesn't matter if you're living on the streets or you're president of the United States. From A to Z, it works for anybody. So, and the whole idea, and this is what the Spiritual Mission Productions is all about: establishing and maintaining right relationships through human values, to show people how to be in healthy relationship with each other, with themselves. And the foundation for this is the same as for the Ascended Entrepreneur, which is 5 spiritual practices that you do, and it can be 5, it can be 3, it can be. The whole idea is to do spiritual practices regardless, so that you can be able to function and maintain a steady diet of yourself, of your higher self coming through, and expressing itself through you, through your personality, through your body, through your emotions and feelings, through your thought process. So that's the whole idea. 5 spiritual practices are meditation, which is listening to God, Goddess, prayer, which is talking to God, Goddess, reading spiritual inspirational works, music, mantras, affirmations, and some kind of service activity to support all that. So if you're doing this on a regular daily basis, I can guarantee you that you're probably going to become enlightened or get to the point of enlightenment in probably the quickest time possible. So, and you know, you may not get enlightened this time. Who knows? Who cares? The point is that you're taking actions to tap into yourself, to connect with your higher self, to connect with your soul, connect with your monad, connect with your avatar, connect with your logo, to connect with the Godhead, Goddess head. So that's the whole idea. And once you connect, then the whole idea is to stay connected. And the 5 spiritual practices will not only introduce you to being connected and being connected to all this, but also staying connected to all this. And that's what you want. And the more you stay connected to your higher self, to your monad, to your logo, to your Goddess head, then the more you're going to be expressing as a divine being rather than as a personality. And that's what the crucifixion is all about. That's what Jesus was here to express, to exemplify to people, that you can, anybody has the opportunity to live this type of lifestyle, but you have to choose it. If you don't choose it, well, maybe it might choose you, but even if that happens, you're still going to have to work at it. It doesn't matter. You can either you do your homework or you don't. You know, if you're in school and you don't do your homework, well, maybe you're a genius and you probably learned a lot of this already in other lifetimes, or you know, you just that you're just choosing something different, and you know, and everybody's different. Everybody's going to process through and differently, but the basics are all the same. If you go to the Alice Bailey works and also Helen Blavatsky works, there are universal principles that are applied, that are applicable to the whole universe, not to just this planet or any other planet. And so these universal principles, when we're talking about karma, we're talking about different healing properties, we're talking about, I don't know, all kinds of stuff that are applicable throughout the universe, and it's the same. The foundation is the same for everybody in the universe, and they actually supersede or override all of man-made principles and guidelines and laws and rules and regulations. So, and a lot of them are the same anyhow. A lot of man-made law and guides and regulations are the same anyhow. But a lot of them are still, you know, a lot of them are corrupt. A lot of them are just not accurate or not consistent. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that humanity still has a lot of growing up to do. I hate to say it, but we do. That's the point. So anyhow, if you guys, again, if you have any questions about any of this stuff that I'm talking about, please feel free to write me or here in the chat room, and I'll answer any questions as best as I can. So, and now one of the things that I do have, and I'm assuming that you can see there's a poll tab at the top on the right-hand corner. I'm assuming that you can see that. And if you click on that poll tab, for everyone involved, and what's going to happen is we're going to be looking to do a live in-person event in Scottsdale, Arizona in October of this year. And we're looking to do a whole costume bash, psychic fair, a psychic ceremony or psychic awards ceremony program, Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead program to honor all those that have already transcended, and then all kinds of other stuff going on. And everything's just kind of working, and I'm just going with the flow. So anyhow, if you have questions, just put them in the chat room. And also, again, there's a tab at the top that says polls. If you go up there, and if you are interested, if there's someone that you're interested in seeing present live and in person, then go to that poll and say yes, I would like to see this person present live and in person in Scottsdale. So I mean, if you don't, well, that's fine. You can say no, but who cares? But mostly, I'm interested in finding out if you're interested in the people that you're interested in seeing live and in person in Scottsdale. Please let me know, and then those are the people that we're going to definitely talk to see about bringing them up to to present. So anyhow, Stephanie, you wrote me a question. So let me see. Can you email what days you do the psychic readings to me at Stephanie? I'm going to tell you this again. And you are enlightened. Well, good. Then you should know what days we're going to be doing that psychic readings. So there's no problem with that, huh? Thank you very much. So anyhow, again, go if you don't. The schedule is on the Hangout page. Again, go to the front of Spiritual Image Productions, and there's a link that says the GPS Paranormal Golden Age Hangout. Click on that link. That'll take you to the schedule for the rest of the week, and you can again pick out the sessions you want to attend, or if you want to attend all of them, of course that's available as well. So, and it doesn't matter if you attend one or all of them. It's all going to be the same price, free. Not bad, huh? So anyhow, and again, for those of you that are planning on attending more than one session, you're going to want to hang on to that link. When you signed up for the join webinar for this webinar series, you were given a link, and that link is going to be the same link you're going to be using for the whole week. So hang on to that email and do not lose that link. If you do lose that link, well, no biggie. Just go back to the join webinar button and then sign up again for another link. And so assumably that'll get you in anyhow. So anyhow, the Ascended Entrepreneur again is about first of all operating from your soul, and again for several lifetimes, literally hundreds of lifetimes. Most people that are living and breathing here right now have lived hundreds of lifetimes, maybe thousands, I don't know, but at least hundreds, and to get to where you're at now. And at some point, you start developing your physical body, and there's a whole development process. All this is a development process. You become a neophyte, and you become aware that you have emotions and feelings and can think. And then you start working with learning how to take care of your physical body, and then you learn how to and that's the first initiation. The second initiation has to do with learning how to balance your emotions and feelings. Initiations are all about balance, are crises that take place, and basically they're like exams, they're like tests. And so if you pass that test, then you might actually get that test again further down the road. But even if you do get that test again, you won't have to worry about how to handle it, because you already know how to handle it. But at some point, you move on, and the tests become more graduated and more evolved and more involved, and so that you can continue to develop your nature, yourself, and really connect with your higher self. And right now, there's a lot of people that are really becoming more and more aware, more and more enlightened. It used to be that most of the planet was still working with being a neophyte and taking the first initiation. Now there's more and more people that are actually getting to the it's not the final points, but to the point of enlightenment. And again, the point of enlightenment is you're taking the first initiations, the one where you balance your emotional feelings, and then the third initiation has to do with your mental capabilities. That's why I tell people, go to school, and at least you can learn how to think. A lot of people can do that automatically just on their own, but most people can't, and so it's better to go to school so you can learn how to think for yourself. And then at some point you start to talk about, or not talk about, you start to tap into past lives. You'll either do a past life regression, or I've had dreams of myself in other lifetimes from past lifetimes. I've had dreams of my sister in a future, both my sisters in a future lifetime, and they're going to be together again, sisters again, probably in the next lifetime is my guess. But they're going to be in a different culture. I think they're going to be in an Asian culture, and they'll still be working with each other directly. So, and then once the purpose for going to working with learning what some of your past lives are is so that you can, and basically you only go back to the ones that you need, that are applicable to where you're at now, because what happens is you learn how to resolve those you use them so that you can resolve whatever issues are holding you back from those lifetimes, so you can go forward and become ascended. And what happens is, typically at every initiation, or yeah, every one of these major initiations, or actually initiations, I guess, that for once you get initiated into the mastery, into the point of level of being enlightened, then literally there's more levels beyond that, many more levels. But anyhow, this is just like the beginning of what is a long journey for many years and lifetimes to come still. So again, and if you've ever heard of the Maslow hierarchy of needs, most people have in psychology. This guy by the name of Maslow states, he brings to he puts it out there, and he comes forward and says that there are different levels of development to become, how does he say, self-realized. He calls it self-realized. So, which to me is the same thing as enlightened, or self-realized, or ascended, if you want to call it that. Anyhow, so he says you start out with your basic needs: food, water, shelter, and then you get your emotional needs met, and then you get your here, let me see what this is. So okay. Okay, there. So anyhow, you get your emotional needs met, and then you go on and work with your mental capabilities, and then you become self-realized. But when you get self-realized, he doesn't state what your needs are as someone that's self-realized, which is interesting. He doesn't go beyond that. He just goes to the point of self-realized. Okay, fine. So what are your needs as a person for being self-realized? Very simple: being of service to, and at some point you'll get to the you'll be working with the development process. You'll be working with the mental capabilities, and then you're going to be transfigured and transformed, and then you'll be transcended, or you'll becoming like ascended, I guess. That's the word for it. So at some point you're going to be working with again, you'll be working with other beings that will help you through. You usually have two beings in the spirit world. You either initiates or masters, depending on where you're at, and they're always there to support you and work with you, get you and help you through that process. So, but by time you get to the point of your mental capabilities, you're probably working with masters, I'm pretty sure. So at some point, again, you go back and you realize some of the past lives that you experienced, so that you can go forward, and then you become transfigured and transformed, and then you ascend and you become enlightened. And then beyond that, you go through many more initiations and become a saint, become an avatar, become a logo, and then eventually you unite with the Godhead. So now, Stephanie, you are a really busy person. That's all I gotta say. Let me see. Okay, past lifetimes, present lifetimes, future lifetimes. Yep. Your subconscious. Yep. And unconscious and superconscious and conscious, of course. So anyhow, we once you get to the point of enlightenment, in the Bible, well, this whole thing with Jesus being crucified is basically symbolic of the personality having this ongoing war, feud with the soul. It's always wanting what it wants out of life, and it's very selfish, very greedy, very arrogant, very sad, very guilty, very all this stuff that has very that's a lot of times has nothing to do with what the soul is all about. It's just caught up in its own whatever mess, drama, whatever you want to call it. So anyhow, eventually this crucifixion happens. You do become crucified, and in a sense of speaking, and that can be in various different forms. But you eventually the soul in the end, not the end, but in this point of actually becoming enlightened, what happens is eventually the personality surrenders its all to the soul. It surrenders everything, anything that it's connected to, everything that's connected to, everything that is, and it was and is now, that personality is and was now, um, it surrenders itself to the soul, and then the soul starts to take over and do what it came here to do. And everybody here has purpose, some kind of purpose to do what it's supposed to do. Hang on, so let me check the time. Oh, we got plenty of time. Good. So everybody's here to do has a purpose here, all kinds of purposes to work with, and the whole idea is to connect with the soul, and the soul will really knows exactly what its purpose is here, what your purpose is here to do and accomplish. And so, for the people that are entrepreneurs or business people, or working with marketing and sales and so forth, you want to operate from the soul level, because the things that are going to be marketed and sold in the future are much more evolved than they are now. They're going to be stuff, I think, the things that are going to be sold and marketed in the future, even near future, and even now, as things are being marketed and sold, are for the purposes of people being enlightened, becoming enlightened, staying enlightened, sustaining themselves at that level. And so, because it's like eating ice cream. You know, kids will eat ice cream, and they go, wow, that tastes really good. I want some more. And they don't want to stop. They want to keep eating ice cream because it's so good. But and you know, the parents, of course, have to set a boundary. They have to set some kind of a level of I don't know, of attainment. And anyhow, so you'll get a taste of this ascension, and what it tastes like is, I have been to India and meditated, and I've gone to I don't know if you know who Sai Baba is. Sai Baba is considered a cosmic avatar, cosmic Christ, and lived in India for years. I think he was 83 when he passed on. But anyhow, he passed on back in 2005. 2005? I think it was the same year as my dad passed on. Anyhow, he he I would go. I went. He came to me and visited me in a dream back in 1997, 1996. You know, I was in an accident and it broke both my heels, and I was going to school. I was doing a psychic readers network hotline. I was living in a house with two wives and 4 kids. Oh my God, that's what it felt like anyhow. So anyhow, he came to me in the dream and invited me to visit him. I said, okay, so I'll go there. So I quit my job, quit my school, quit my girlfriend, quit my place of residence, and moved out and just put everything into a storage and took off. And I was in India for about almost 2 months. And so when I was there, I would meditate pretty much regularly every day, and this energy of just love and compassion would come through, and Christed energies would come through, and I would have this big old smile in my face, on my face, just meditating, and I just couldn't help but smile, because there was so much love and bliss coming through, and it's the most incredible feeling. It's like, again, it's like eating ice cream, but a lot better. So anyhow, you know, for an hour or two, I don't know I can't remember how long, but I would be in this blissful state. But I'd sit there and meditate and meditate and meditate, and just allow the energies to flow through. So when I was there, I first went to a place called his ashram. He has an ashram in Whitefield, or Vrindavan. I think it's Vrindavan. I went there. It's a small ashram. So I went there, and I was there for about, I can't remember, 2 or 3 weeks. And so I would meditate, and then one day, and every morning, Sai Baba would come. He would come in the mornings and do what you call darshan, bless everybody, and then he would do another darshan in the evening, like early evening, like every day, like in the morning, I can't remember, like 7, 8 o'clock, and then in the evening around 2 or 3 o'clock. in the afternoon, he would do another darshan, or maybe 4 or 5 o'clock, I can't remember. Anyhow, they would always let me go in first, along with all the cripples and all the old people, because my heels were broken at the time, and I had pins in them, and I was considered one of the disabled people. So they would let me go in first, and I would sit down, pick my spot, and then and I would just sit there and meditate. So he would walk in and out of the aisles, everywhere, and do do blessings, bless people. People would give him letters, because people would write him letters about all kinds of stuff, about healing, about doing a personal what you call interview with him, and all kinds of stuff. And people would just give him letters, and they say that as soon as he touched the letter, the prayer was answered right there on the spot. So and before I left, a bunch of people did give me a bunch of letters. So what I did is one day I went in there and I sat down with everybody else on the floor instead of on the on the seats on the side and there I could see over everyone, and I could see Sai Baba walking around. So it was pretty cool. I was like giving a broadside view of everything that was going on, and I could see everything. So that was pretty awesome. And so anyhow, I went and I sat down and I gave him the letters. And then another time, I went and bought what you call vibhuti, or sacred ash. I bought 4 bags of it. And at the time, how you get an interview with him is that you would do it in groups. So how you would identify your group is you would wear this bandana around your neck, and everybody had their own unique color, or I don't know, design or whatever. But there was always some kind of a significant difference amongst the bandanas, so that it distinguished you with your group. So anyhow, if one of the group members was called forward for an interview, then everybody wearing that bandana would be called forward and would go in for an interview with Sai Baba. And then after the blessings, after the darshan, then they would go in a special room called a mandir, and they would go in there and do their blessings, or have an interview with him. And sometimes he would heal people. He would manifest rings and diamond earrings, diamond rings, all kinds of stuff for these people, or just talk to them or whatever. So anyhow, the Italians, I don't know, for some reasons the Italians, they like me, so they adopted me. So I said, okay, fine. So they go, well, do you want to be in our group? I said, okay, sure, why not? So they gave me a bandana, and I was with their group the whole time I was there. And so anyhow, I went and bought some vibhuti. They sell it by the bags, and they only cost like what, 50 cents or something like that. And the vibhuti is the same thing. It's sacred ash. So a lot of people take the sacred ash. In fact, anyhow, I got some with me, but I'll tell you about that later. But anyhow, you take the sacred ash and you can eat it or put it on your body for healing, for helping you with meditations and all kinds of stuff. And they used to call me the vibhuti guy, because I always had vibhuti, a little canister of vibhuti that I used to carry in my pocket all the time. And I would go to groups and give vibhuti to everybody. I always had vibhuti. And it was funny, because I used to be in Hawaii. I used to live in Hawaii. I used to work as an activity agent, and people would come to my booth all the time, and a lot of times I get Mormon people come to my booth, mostly men, and I would always ask them, and the Mormon men are supposed to have a little vial with them of water, so that they can bless or give rites or whatever, but they're always supposed to have it on them. Probably about 65% of the time, if even that, the guys, these Mormon guys, would not have their vials with them. I would ask, hey, where's your vial? They go, what do you mean? Yeah, your vial, where's it at? They go, well, I left it in my car, or I left it at home. Really? And it's supposed to be at home? Isn't it supposed to be in your pocket? Oh, yeah. But I go, here, I'll tell you what, I'll give you some of my vibhuti. So I give them some vibhuti, they put it on their forehead or whatever, and then they would be blessed and whatever else. So I'm sure they didn't forget their vial after that. But anyhow, I took these 4 bags of vibhuti, and I went and sat down with all the other people, instead of sitting up in the bench with everybody else, all the other guys. So I sat down, and so I was next to this, what you call a sevadar. A sevadar is a security person that are in the ashram that helps, you know, maintain the place. And so I was next to this guy, and so I held up my vibhuti in my hands to Sai Baba so that he could bless him. So he walks by, and he kind of looks back, and then he keeps going. And I said to the Sevadal, I go, isn't he supposed to like touch my vibhuti so that it'll be blessed? He goes, no, if he walks by, it's blessed, no problem. I said, oh, okay, sure, why not? So then afterwards, I was telling the story to some other people, like 4 other guys, some Italian people or whatever. I was going, yeah, and then I said, yeah, and I was telling them the part about the Sevadal. He goes, yeah, you know, isn't he supposed to touch the vibhuti and before, and so it'll be blessed? He goes, no, he just walks by. And as soon as I said that, all of a sudden my hands started shaking, like trembling, because all of a sudden this energy just started pouring into this vibhuti, these bags of vibhuti. All this energy was just like pouring, and I can just feel it, and my hands were literally shaking from it because it was so powerful. I thought, wow, that's pretty trippy. So I said, okay. So I gave one of the bags to the Italians because they adopted me. And since then, I don't know, that was years ago. I've given away most of the vibhuti, and of course I've taken a lot of it myself. And so and I don't know what all the results have been, other than I'm here right now, right before you, and I'm still making my way. But anyhow, there's all kinds of stories that happen when you're on the path. There's all kinds of things that happen when you start to work towards becoming evolved and enlightened and get to the point of mastery. And again, you will taste that level of mastery at some point, and you'll feel this energy. And whenever you feel incredible, just a sense of not only peace but just joyfulness, happiness in your body. And like sometimes if you wake up in the mornings and like everything seems like a dream state. You wake up and the whole day just goes by like it's in slow motion, like it's a dream, and everything just seems peaceful and just blissful in a sense of being. If you ever had those days, then you're definitely tasting what it's like to be enlightened. Absolutely. So, and even if the most, you know, you'll have stuff that comes at you that you know, it's some kind of drama scene or some kind of glitch or something comes at you that wants to disturb your day. That just melts away. So if you're ever going through that type of a day, then you're obviously tapping into it. So just keep tapping into it. Whatever you're doing is working, so keep doing it. Whatever you're doing, why not? So anyhow, and if you're still having a hard time, you still have dramas coming in, you're still having problems with finances, with relationships, with a career, with whatever's going on in your life. If you're still having problems that are, you know, things that are knocking you off your feet and knocking you on the floor, then you have the right, number one, to control that. Number two, if you want to control it, you have to choose to change that in your life. And again, it's not about controlling it, like being anal retentive and having control over everything that's going on. The whole idea is that you have control over yourself. You have you have the right to be who you are, and so you can choose to change your life just by choosing mentally to change it, and it's that quick, like a snap of a finger. It happens that quick. Your day can be completely amazing for the whole day just by changing your mind and making up your mind. That's how you want to do it. And then what you do is reinforce it with the practices, with the meditation. And meditation, again, is just listening. You can just sit down and just be quiet and listen to your breath, listen to what's going on around you, listen to some music in the background, and just breathe. Just allow yourself to breathe and be in the moment and enjoy and appreciate. If you really want to be in the highest level of energy, then appreciating and being in the state of grace and gratitude is the highest energy that you can probably choose to be in, and that will allow you to move forward with grace and ease, and move on with your life with a much better understanding and better way of life than not. So and you can be in the state of love, but there's I can't remember David. There's a guy I just remember the first name was David, I think. But anyhow, he created this scale of energy that measures words, and each one of these words has a certain standard of measure. Hate might be 250, fun might be 350, happiness might be 375, love is 500, and then grace and gratitude, those words literally in and of themselves are around 750, and on this level. So the higher the level of these words, the more you want to be integrate and work with those words and those energies, because that allows you again to be more and more in the state of bliss and the state of enlightenment than not. And so so anyhow, if you one of the things you could do is just sit down and write. And again, there's self-development, which is a service to yourself, and then there's a service that you can do to humanity, to the angel kingdom, to the plant kingdom, to the mineral, to the animal kingdom, to whatever. At some point, you'll choose what kind of service you want to do, and then you go, this is the service I want to do, and then so at some point you move on to work with that service and start doing that service. So anyhow, one of the things you can do as a service to yourself is write down a list of things that you're grateful for, that you really appreciate in your life. Your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your life, your career, whatever. And even the stuff, appreciate all the stuff that even though you didn't like the experience, you still appreciate them, that they taught you certain things about hate, about sadness, about guilt, about shame, about whatever. You still want to appreciate all that, because again, you want to be in harmony with everything that's around you and within you, not just be selective about what it is that you want to be in harmony with. You want to be in harmony with everything around you, and that includes the universe. So right now, just start with the here and now and your own little localized environment, whatever that may be. And as you become more evolved, more advanced, more enlightened, your scope, your consciousness, your awareness will expand beyond the local, beyond the state stuff, beyond the country stuff, beyond the planet stuff, beyond the galaxy stuff, beyond, and eventually you'll tap into beyond the solar system, beyond the galaxy, and even so on. But right now, just start with being here right now, right here, right now. I mean, that's enough. Believe you me, for a lot of people, oh my God, that's plenty. That's more than enough. A lot of people are just having a hard time just working with being themselves and just living and breathing here right now. And if you really want to live life, if you really want to be real with yourself and everybody around you, be here right now. Live and breathe and be here right now. Be in the present. Be very real with yourself and with everything around you. Time out. So anyhow, you see, Stephanie, you wrote a couple more things, but I didn't get a chance. Sai Baba, he does chants. Your destiny. The hardest tests are for God's favorite children. You can call it favorite. We're all God's children. It doesn't matter. And the only reason you would be a favorite is because you've been working towards connecting with Him, connecting with God, Goddess. making effort to establish and maintain a relationship with God Goddess within yourself. The God Goddess is within you, and always has been and always will be, period. There's no way around it. So if you want to deny somebody else of being a favorite of God, you're denying yourself of being a favorite of God. So it doesn't matter. There's no judgment. There's no prejudice. Everybody's a favorite to God. And the thing is, you need to choose for yourself whether or not you want to be one with God. You want to be God Goddess yourself. And not in the sense of being the Godhead, but being by default, because you are one with God, you're an extension of God, you too are God. Everything's the same. If you are one with God, you are God. Is that right? By definition, by default? There you go. So anyhow, I do these, with the 90-day Ascension journey that I just launched it about a month and a half, well, I guess it's been a few months ago. And basically I walk you through for 12 weeks. We work with all of this. We work with meditation, we work with prayer, we work with establishing an altar for yourself. If you haven't established an altar, a place of worship for yourself, and not only that, but a place where all the fairies and all the elementals play, a place where you can invite elementals and fairies and all these little beings to come and work with you. They help you out with, an altar is a place where these little beings will come at, and that's where they stay at. That's where they operate out of. And then if you need some help with mundane stuff like maybe fixing the washer and dryer or whatever, all this stuff, they help you out with that. But if you don't have a place for them to hang out at, guess what? You might be having a hard time with your car, with your washer and dryer, with the floor, with whatever is going on. All the mundane stuff, because you don't have those guys helping you out. And that's the whole idea. The behind all this as well is with this program is to understand that there's people on the other side and there's people here in the physical body right here, right now. So you want to be in harmony with everyone, with everything, not just the people in your home, not just your lover or your brother or your sister, not just your teacher or your reverend or whatever. You want to be in harmony with everyone. So why not, have an ongoing relationship with these little beings, with angels and saints. And again, once you get to a point of understanding and when you're ready, the hardest thing towards the end of this journey of being enlightened or being at the level of enlightenment is to surrender. Literally, the personality just to say, okay, fine, you have it all. Universe, God, Goddess, I surrender me, I surrender all my life, I surrender my family and friends, I surrender my possessions, I surrender my career and all my actions, words, and deeds. I surrender everything in my life, everything of the past and the present and the future. To you, God, Goddess, wholeheartedly, and may thy will be done. It's like that. It's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing to trust a being, a presence, an energy, a force out there that's beyond you to take over, allow it to take over the reins and drive your vehicle. Trust. People have such a hard time trusting everyone. And so, trusting yourself is huge for a lot of people. One of the best ways to do it, hardest ways to do it, just surrender it. Now you don't have to worry about trusting. Now you just go with the flow. Now you're just living and breathing and being right here, right now. Every day is heaven on earth. Every day is blissful now. Again, we have lots and lots of presentations waiting us this week. Come back and participate in the ones that you want to participate in, and or listen to, I guess, or both. And again, if you get a chance, and if you like any of the presenters, go up to the polls tab and vote, and just say yes, I'd like to see this person present at the live event in Scottsdale, Arizona, in October. So let me see what time it is. It's kind of hard for me to. So we got about 10 more minutes. Let me see. Stephanie, you sure are a busy girl. We should talk. Can you see? We are. Let me see. Okay, Sai Baba, physical plane, spiritual planes, spirit world. We are brothers and sisters in Christ, and we are God's children. We are God's children. We are brothers and sisters in Christ. Unicorns, elf, spirit elf, and spirit level, physical level. Well, thank you for all those comments, Stephanie. I appreciate it. And again, all of you, I thank you very much for being here. Again, if you want to go, if you're interested, you can go to spiritualnessproductions.com. If you want to do one of these 90-day Ascension journeys with me, I will walk you through setting up an altar, doing the meditations, the prayers. We'll talk about, we'll even do a tantra session where we'll work with communication and boundaries, and of course it'll be PG, and just really work with the intimate part of yourself, and learning how to establish and maintain an intimate part of yourself, with yourself and with others. And then we'll also talk about Ascension and what it means to you. We'll define it, refine it, and we'll allow you. We'll work with you in allowing you to, how would you say, personalize Ascension for yourself. Because again, Ascension is different for everyone. It's not the exact same for anyone, and that's what Jesus was here to teach us and to show us in person. As a leader, he did so through role modeling, which is the most difficult way to teach people. And so he did a really good job of that. And as a result, we now have the church, we now have the state, and we now have the education systems. If we did not have him come forward to do this, we may not have any of this. Who knows? But anyhow, also we'll work with psychic development. We'll work with all kinds of stuff. The spirit world, the other side, and then we'll customize it. If there's different things that you want to work with and learn and understand, we'll do that. And then we'll also throw in an astrology reading. I do astrology, and again on Friday we're going to be doing readings. I'll probably be doing readings on that day. So I do two types of readings. One is the Western style, which is the personality astrology chart, the day that you were born and the day that you came out of the womb. And then there's the soul or esoteric astrology, which is the day that this fetus comes in and connects with or the soul comes in and connects with the fetus, which is about 3 or 4 weeks after the day of conception. I psychically go in and grab that information, and then I do a chart based on that. And I've done lots and lots of charts, but based on the personality, and people will go, well, that doesn't make sense. And then I'll go, I said, well, let's do the soul chart reading. And as soon as I do that, boom, everything's yeah, and they connect with everything. And most people outgrow the personality charts between the ages of 18 through 25, I've discovered. And then they start moving on and start living out more of their soul life purpose. And usually I can tell with different, by just like looking at the chart and then depending on what's going on in your life right now. So most people, again, are a lot of people, and I don't know how many people are living the true life chart, but if they're not at least living parts of it or all of it, then they're at least tapping into it at some point or another. So we'll do an astrology reading with both the personality chart and the soul chart to help give you some kind of idea in terms of where you're headed, what you're doing right now, and where you've come from, so we can give you some understanding of what's going on in your life so you can make your next step, make your next move. So anyhow, again, we'll work with all kinds of stuff. If you go to the front of spiritualproductions.com, I have this journey, this 90-day Ascension journey, 12-week program, slated for retail for $650. If you go to the front of the spiritualproductions.com, there's a add to cart button in the middle of the page, and you can make your purchase there if you are interested in doing that. Go ahead and confirm that purchase, and then give me a call, or I'll be emailed, and it will let me know, and then we'll connect, and then we'll set up a time frame so we can begin doing these things. So it's retailed for $650, but I'm offering it for this webinar series for $350 if you want to do it that way. The other thing that's going on is that if you're interested, if you think you want to come out for the Scottsdale live and in-person event in October, again, on that same add to cart button, we're going to be offering those tickets at the door for $97. If you are interested, if you know for sure you're interested and you want to do that, attend that event right now for the webinar series only, we're going to be doing selling those tickets for $47 right, per person. So if you're interested in any of that, again, you can go and spiritualproductions.com. In the middle of the page, you'll see Jasmine, and Jasmine did a great job with the video. She did this promo video, and if you haven't already listened to that, you might want to go listen to that. She did an awesome job. So anyhow, if you go to right next to that video, and the join webinar button, there's a link for the Hangout, so you can see the agenda, the scheduling for the rest of the week. And there's also an add to cart button, so that you can go ahead and confirm either the 90-day Ascension journey or the tickets for the live event in October, or both. And otherwise, if you want to help support, one of the things we're going to be looking to do is doing classes, ongoing classes and workshops and presentations throughout the year on a regular basis. So, and eventually a school for psychic development, for shamanism, all kinds of stuff, whatever. So if you're interested in helping support that, number one, you can volunteer. If you're going to come out here and you're going to be here in Scottsdale, write me, email me, call me, let me know, and let me know you want to be a volunteer, and then we'll put you on the list so that we can substantiate that. And otherwise, if you can't do that or don't want to do that, or if you just have some extra cash that you can donate, there's a donation button there you can put forward to put some of your service funding towards, so that we can expand upon this and make this a more elaborate program. So I want to thank you all for being here. I think we're about out of time, or pretty close yet. If you have any questions, of course, you can email me, spiritualimageproductions@yahoo.com, spiritualimageproductions@yahoo.com, or just go to my website. My email's there, and you can write me. Meantime, our next presentation is going to be with Paul Armitage, who's going to be talking about, let me see, timeout, let me see. Between the Lines, Exploring Soul Purpose Across Lifetimes, and we'll be back.